Imagine biting into a warm, gooey cookie, crunching into sweet candies, savoring a slice of rich cake, or enjoying a waffle cone stacked with ice cream. Is your mouth watering yet? Are you craving dessert? But why? What's happening inside your brain that makes sugary foods so irresistible? Sugar is a broad term used to describe a class of molecules known as carbohydrates, and it's present in countless foods and drinks. Just take a look at the ingredient lists on sweet products. Glucose, fructose, sucrose, maltose, lactose, dextrose, and starch, all are forms of sugar. The same goes for high fructose corn syrup, fruit juice, raw sugar, and even honey. But sugar isn't limited to candies and desserts. It's often added to tomato sauce, yogurt, dried fruit, flavored waters, and granola bars. Since sugar is so widespread, understanding how it affects the brain is essential. What happens the moment sugar hits your tongue? And does eating just a little make you want even more? Let's say you take a bite of cereal. The sugars in it activate the sweet taste receptors located on the taste buds of your tongue. These receptors then send signals to the brainstem, which further relays them to various parts of the forebrain, including the cerebral cortex. Different sections of the cerebral cortex process different tastes: bitter, salty, umami, and of course, sweet. From there, the signal moves on to the brain's reward system. This system consists of a network of electrical and chemical pathways that span multiple areas of the brain. Despite its complexity, it answers one fundamental subconscious question: should I do that again? That comforting, joyful feeling you get after taking a bite of your favorite dessert? That's your brain's reward system responding with a firm yes. And it's not just food that triggers this system. Social interactions, certain behaviors, and even drugs can activate it. However, overstimulating the reward system can lead to a problematic cycle: loss of control, cravings, and increased tolerance to sugar. Dopamine, a key neurotransmitter in the reward system, plays a central role here. The forebrain contains many dopamine receptors, though they aren't evenly distributed. Some regions have dense clusters of these receptors, forming dopamine hotspots within the reward system. Substances like alcohol, nicotine, and drugs cause a surge of dopamine, leading some people to chase that high, otherwise known as addiction. Sugar also triggers dopamine release, though not as intensely as drugs. Unlike many other foods, sugar has a unique ability to influence dopamine levels. Take broccoli, for example. It has zero effect on dopamine, which likely explains why getting kids to eat their vegetables is such a struggle. Now let's consider what happens when you eat a well-balanced meal. Dopamine levels rise in response to the food, activating the reward system. But if you eat that same meal repeatedly, dopamine spikes become smaller over time, eventually stabilizing. This happens because our brains have evolved to focus on new and diverse foods. Why? For two key reasons. First, to detect spoiled food, and second, to ensure a varied diet that provides all the essential nutrients. That's why, over time, familiar foods become less exciting. But what if instead of a balanced meal you opt for a sugar-packed snack? If sugar intake is minimal, the brain responds similarly to how it does with a nutritious meal. However, consuming excessive amounts of sugar has a different effect. Dopamine levels remain high, refusing to level out. As a result, sugar continues to feel just as rewarding every time you eat it. This is what makes sugar behave somewhat like a drug, leading many people to feel hooked on sweet treats. No matter the type, whether it's fructose, sucrose, or glucose, every form of sugar triggers a chain reaction in the brain that reinforces the desire for more. If consumed too frequently, this process can spiral out of control. So, can sugar have addictive effects on the brain? Yes. Overindulgence can send the reward system into overdrive. But don't worry, a slice of cake every now and then won't hurt. Want to learn more about how food affects your body and mind? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more health tips.